Hello, One in a Million channel. My name is Eunice Chan, and today I have something that is going to bring us back to the basics. Okay, so we want to talk about how manifestation happens in the present moment and why the present moment is actually the portal. You being able to receive everything and you being able to materialize everything. It has to happen in the present moment. And once you understand that, you're going to understand how easy it is to receive right now. As a matter of fact, if there's something that you want to call into your life, all you have to do is just pay attention to what's happening in your reality right now. And, all the moments going forward. So I have some examples to illustrate that. Actually, it's very interesting that I'm talking about this right now because oftentimes when we think about manifestation, we're always thinking about something that's going to happen in the future. And we always have this excitement and anticipation. And we always somehow calculate and project into the future how far into the future we're going to want this. Now, I want to address this particularly because I think for a lot of people, we are so much in our heads that we detach the manifestation from right now in this present moment. And because of that, we're always anticipating it to be somewhere in the future. And it's almost like we deny ourselves from receiving it right now. And so it's a very nuanced understanding. You expecting it to happen in the future, it almost denies you from getting it immediately. Okay? So understand that if you are able to acknowledge that what I desire to manifest, it can actually happen now, immediately, instantly. The money could just drop into your account. You could just go to a cafe, meet the barista, and then all of a sudden your life would have changed. If you could just be talking to a friend, and then your friend introduces you to another friend, and then there's an opportunity that you become business partners or something, or you got funding for your new business. That is how it happens. And all it is required for you is to be very grounded in the present moment. So what you can do is to respond and react to the opportunities that are right in front of you. Now, what has happened for me in the past, and actually I am notorious for getting upgrades and getting the whole row to myself when I'm on a flight. And because of this, I tend to pay a lot of attention when I flight travel, when I'm especially when I'm going back to Hong Kong and I have a super long flight ahead of me. And I'm always kind of thinking to myself, it's possible for me to get an upgrade. As much as, Diego was in the aviation industry and he was always saying that, you can't get an upgrade unless you pay. I'm here to tell you that you can. And all you have to do is just pay attention. And when I say upgrade, I don't necessarily mean you be bumped up to business or first class. What I mean is that you can fly a lot more comfortably if you just pay attention. So what I realized is that in several occasions in my flying experience, I have always just paid attention to my environment. I was always very present when I travel because, there's always this anticipation, and I'm looking at the flight attendant, I'm looking at who's around me, the seats around me, where I'm situated, I'm looking at the exits. And oftentimes, I would just find myself at the back of the plane where the plane is not very full, and there are plenty of empty seats around me. And so as soon as the flight takes off, or even before the flight takes off, even though maybe this is not common practice, I just move my bag there. I just scooch myself over there. And yes, flight attendants might not like it. if you do that and you cause a scene, or if you cause inconvenience to other people, or if you end up taking other people's seat. That's not what I'm talking about. I am talking about like literally no one has taken those seats. Literally, there's no one there in the entire row. Or maybe there's no one next to me. And I've just manifested having an entire to myself. That's probably even more comfortable than business class, you know? And so I'd be able to take up the whole row, like sleep soundly like a baby throughout the entire flight. Or, there was one time when I was flying with Diego for a very short trip, and we were not expecting an upgrade. But all of a sudden, as the whole plane has boarded and everyone's seated, a flight attendant comes into the cabin and he says, "Who wants to move to the front of the plane?" And we all know what moving to the front of the plane means. The front of the plane is where all the business class and first class seats are. And in that particular plane, there were only business class seats available. So, business class and economy class. Then we heard that and we looked at each other and we're like, duh. So we raised our hands and he was like, you, move up, like grab your bags and move up to the front of the plane. And what they were actually doing is not because they wanted to bump up people for free. It's actually because they needed to balance the weight of the plane because there were so little people in business class. So there was like a weight imbalance. We needed to send people up front. And because we were paying attention, we were anticipating that anything can happen in the moment. We raised our hands. We responded immediately. And that is exactly how your manifestations can happen. Instantly. This is actually more powerful than you think you realize, because it's not just about manifesting something big immediately. It's also manifesting something small. It's also manifesting your character, manifesting a habit. Like, your habits are built at one decision at a time. Like, if you really break down your habits and instead of looking at like your 365-day calendar or 21-day calendar or 21-day like habit checkbox, and if you look at moment to moment, day to day decisions that you're making, every single time you decide to commit to that habit, every single time you decide to not procrastinate, every single time you decide that you're going to do the uncomfortable thing because you know exactly that's what you need to do, that's what you want to do, that's the direction you want to move towards. Every time you decide that you want to move closer to your goals, and that's going to bring you closer to your goals, you're manifesting your character, you're manifesting your success, you're manifesting commitment immediately. And it happens instantaneously because the moment you decide that you're going to stop procrastinating, the moment you decide that you're going to stop giving up on yourself, you instantaneously manifest a more committed version of you. And so understand that if you are able to plug into the present moment and just stay with it as much as possible, just stay committed to this moment right here. Be responsive to your environment. Be responsive to the people around you. Be responsive to what's happening. Be responsive to the calling of your future. You can manifest practically anything in this present moment. This is so much more powerful than you realize. And if you keep thinking that my manifestation is going to happen not now, but in the future, I'm telling you, it will benefit you to rethink that. So let me know if you guys agree with this. Let me know what you guys think of this video. And until next time, take care. And I'll be seeing you guys in the next video.